Welcome, guys. We are live. Thanks for tuning in. When you see the video, when you enter the chat, make sure you like the video. Make sure you share this video because this this is something else.
Yeah, this
Or it's
is
the
something
same thing,
else.
but it's something else.
This is
Put
just
it like that.
wild,
It's the same thing, but something else.
and it's just picking up momentum so quickly. And so you already know what the end result is going to be.
Yeah,
They're basically already saying it. And look at these questions they put here. They say people also ask.
yeah,
So it's the stage is already being set for the next phase. But the question is, do you see what's going on? And are you
really,
going to have the same response that you did in 2019, 2020?
exactly. Like
Because
really,
that's when we left Ohio to live in Tanzania, to travel Southeastern Africa, and we've been abroad ever since. Good 4 years now.
mm-hmm.
Going to be rolling into the fifth year pretty soon here, because time is just going by so fast. But since that thing that happened in 2020 with the injections, life has never been the same. America didn't go back. The world didn't go back to how it
Yeah,
was before that time.
really. You really gotta leave the world behind. Like really. Because when you get outside of that system of America, it's like you can definitely see more clearly of what's to come and what's familiar, and this is very very familiar. Like
Yeah, this
really.
is very, very familiar. So we really, and we're going to reiterate this, guys. As we're talking about this and reading these headlines,
Mm.
I want to challenge you to not have the same mindset of following everything CNN, Yahoo, and all these people say right out the gate. We want you to have the mindset to think critically and ask yourself, what is actually going on here? What message do I need to pull? Because what you're reading and what you're understanding and what you're discerning is different than the message that they want to portray.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to go ahead and get into these articles because these are all new developments. Just from last week, we covered this topic with Mpox a bit. They're saying it started in Congo. One of our friends told us, no, it actually started in Tennessee. Wherever it started, it looks very reminiscent of 2019 around December. And so we're in
Exactly.
August of 2024.
Yeah, I think it was like stuff, or it was mentioning around before that time too. So it's just like very very familiar.
Similar time frame, yeah,
Yeah.
just a few months off. So let's
Mm-hmm.
look here, guys. Let's see. We have right now, we're on Yahoo News, y'all. You can get on Yahoo. They're going to tell you the top trending posts. Now, earlier I
Yeah.
looked at it. Mpox was number 6, but now it's number 5, which tells me they want it to be more prevalent in the news. They're slowly starting to pick it up more in
Mm-hmm.
the news. But the strange thing, they started out by saying that it was in Congo, it was in Kenya, it is in Rwanda, Burundi. They're showing, I think, even Central African Republic, the Democratic
Yeah,
Central
and I
African
think Sweden
Republic.
too.
Yeah, but
Places.
starting with
Yeah.
Africa, they're saying that it started in those places, and now they're saying it's in Pakistan, it is in
Yeah.
Sweden, Asia, and they specifically look at this headline. Manila, this is in the Philippines 47 minutes ago, posts first Mpox case amid global crisis. So they're
Mm.
already naming this. Why are they naming this a global crisis when about 1,300 people, according to these articles, have it in Africa? Now, relative to the population. This is why perspective is so important. Relative to the 2 billion or 1 billion people that are in Africa, 1,000 is a very, very small segment. And so, why would we call this a global crisis?
Exactly. It's just very familiar. I'm gonna keep saying it, and I hope you guys that's watching realize what's going on. Like really,
Please,
really.
please. And let's just also remind our audience, if you're thinking in this time, well, now I definitely can't move abroad because this new global crisis is happening. We
Mm-hmm.
moved in the middle of a global crisis, pandemic, right smack dab in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
We moved to the only country that was open on the face of the earth. Yes, it was awkward. Yes, it was strange. But these are the types of executive difficult decisions, which aren't really difficult decisions.
Mm-hmm.
These are simple decisions. It's literally life or death, and it has been that for many people that ended up getting those treacherous injections. But my fear with this is that humanity has just forgotten that those injections were treacherous. And I fear
Yeah.
that they're just going to be sheep to the slaughter once again.
You guys that's watching, did you forget about the injections that they did? Please let us know in the comments.
Yeah, you
Because
know.
that's a serious question. I know, because that's the first thing you see if somebody look up, hey, how to prevent mpox. They say get vaccinated. So did you forget what they have done with the vaccine back in 2020, 2021, 2022? Yeah, just continue.
Yeah, they had 4 doses, right?
Yeah,
They had booster, booster, booster. Then documentaries start coming out. People have these extreme clots, not even real blood clots,
yeah.
because being in
Real blood
healthcare,
clot is
a
like
blood clot's like that.
not that
But
big.
these were like huge clots the span of your arm, covering their whole cardiovascular system.
Hmm.
And so, ooh, y'all, let's go ahead and read the article. I
Yeah.
want to pick out this one from Asia because this is August 19th today, but this is from an Asian publication.
Yes.
Okay, so they posted it at 8:42 p.m.
Yeah.
August 19th on their time. Okay,
Yeah. Shalom, family. Greetings to all in the chat. Karibu, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm glad people haven't forgot about what happened. Make sure you like the video, and we just gonna continue.
they said I will never forget. I know that's a fact. Please
Yeah.
don't. So let's go ahead and read it. The Philippines Health Department on Monday said it detected. Y'all ready? How many cases this is? Tell y'all narratives, guys. This is why communications is so important. Said that they detected one new case of monkeypox days after the World Health Organization declared a global health emergency amid an uptick in cases in African countries. Maybe it's just me, but I just feel like, we just found one case out of the millions of people that live in this country. I wonder, does that constitute an alert and alarm the way that they are pressing today? One new case, just one.
Yeah,
That's like saying we just have somebody with like one new flu, because monkeypox is a virus similar to the flu, okay? And I say it's similar because they are viruses. They're both viruses, and viruses usually can't be defeated with antibiotics. You usually have to use like more herbal and natural remedies, okay? So you have, and this is why microbiology is so important. Y'all took a microbiology class in college, and I just do not forget those days. And so reading these articles, I'm really like, why do they want to cause such an exactly an exaggeration, like it's already a global health emergency in the Philippines when they just detected one new case since last week? But let's keep going. And thank you so much, Layla, for giving a super chat. May the Most High bless you abundantly. We truly appreciate that. That is so kind of you. Now, they say before this, the last case, y'all ready, was detected December 2023, 1 year ago.
Mm.
So they found one more case since last year, all this time. Yeah, they found one more case. Okay. The patient was a 33-year-old Filipino male with no travel history outside the Philippines. The agency said he was the 10th case overall and the first since the WHO declared the outbreak in African countries a public health emergency of international concern last week. The patient began experiencing symptoms more than a week ago, starting with a fever followed by a distinct rash on the face, back, nape, trunk, row, and palm soles of the feet. The patient tested positive for Mpox using a polymerase chain reaction PCR test. Okay, we're coming back to the PCR test after he was admitted to a government hospital. The DOH, the Department of Health for the Philippines, earlier said 4 cases were detected in 2022. Wow. Does that sound like crisis numbers? These are things I just wonder. Is that like a
Yeah.
crisis number?
A global lockdown.
I just want to know, 4 cases in the last 2, 3 years, is that crisis numbers? So let's go ahead and go over to the Independent via Yahoo. So what y'all think about that first article we just went through? We're digesting this together. And does it sound like a state of emergency? 1 or 2 cases, 1 to 4 cases since 2022.
Yeah.
But they want to push that narrative. I mean, if y'all just look at the news, and here's how as a communication strategist, I like to try and find patterns. If I can find patterns in articles and news and what's being said, then I can identify what they want me to believe. And so if you just look for the pattern, look for keywords, okay?
Hmm.
Look for the patterns that says global crisis.
Yeah.
Huge outbreak. Africa is a sickly place. This is what they're telling you. One, because they don't want all these people returning to Africa. We being in Africa, and it's not just African Americans, it's Jamaicans, it's Caribbeans, it's UK diaspora, it's people in India, it's people in China, it's all of these people who have a mindset of, I don't want to be on this Western system anymore. They're saying, you know what, I need to go to Africa because I'm going to have some freedom there and I'm going to be able
Hmm.
to live life as an actual human.
Yeah, and that's what it is. Like really, they're trying to push fear, and you got to really fight that fear. The opposite of fear is faith.
Yep, it's a fact. So, Yahoo News, a public health emergency has been declared by the World Health Organization over a new outbreak of Mpox in several African nations with 2 cases. Oh my gosh. Did you see that? 2 cases are now reported outside of the continent. Y'all, this is an emergency. It's 2 cases outside of Africa. That's a global. I'm trying. I'm really trying. Okay. That's a global. Okay. This is the talk that that's what they want me to say. It's a global emergency. You got 2 cases outside of the continent.
This is what they do. They might put this headline. The headline was what?
Mpox 2024 mapped all the countries where cases of the new strain have been confirmed.
So if
Published yesterday.
yeah, if you're not a person that's going to read the article, that's automatically fear for you. That's all. Oh my gosh, it's outside the country.
Outside the
Like what?
continent,
Or
yeah.
the continent. And then if you read it, they
Just
just
the
told
first
you the first
sentence.
sentence is only 2 cases reported outside of the continent.
The struggle. So then they go on to say, also known as monkeypox. The disease has seen an upsurge in the Democratic Republic of Congo, with confirmed cases reaching countries across the African subcontinent. More than 17,000 cases have now been confirmed across Africa. So they skipped last week, they said it was 1,400.
Yeah.
But now they're like, we just found 16,000 more cases over the weekend,
Yeah.
apparently.
And remember what they did with COVID too. They was faking numbers. They was literally saying, "Oh, they added numbers or whatever."
Yeah.
So it sounds very familiar.
Yeah, go back, somebody, y'all. If y'all haven't gone back to see what Dr. Fauci is up to now, wasn't he
Hmm.
criminally tried on an international stage
Hmm.
for actually doing fraudulent practices when it came to those numbers? But let's just sit back and read these articles. The outbreak comes as a new strain is identified named Clade 1. You know what they're gonna do with Clade 1? Everybody watch. In a couple months, they're gonna be saying,
Clay
"Do you have
three,
Clade 1?
yeah.
Do you have Clade 1?" Said to be spreading mainly through sexual networks. That's different. Okay. Who says it has been identified in Burundi, Kenya, Rwanda, and Uganda, all countries that have never reported cases of Mpox before.
You know what that tell me? That tell me something like like for me, I might want to go to these countries.
You're Oh man. Oh gosh, y'all ready for this next one? One case of this new strain has now been detected in Sweden. The country's public health agency has confirmed. They say the person who is now in isolation had been contracting it during a stay in an African country where other cases have been reported. Then next, y'all ready for what's next? The Pakistan Ministry of National Health Services also confirmed its first case, saying the person had come from Saudi Arabia. Health officials said sequencing is underway to determine the exact strain of the virus the person has been infected with. Here are the places where cases of Clade 1 have been confirmed. I told y'all, Clade 1, that's what they're going to say. Dr. Tidra said, the emergence of a new clade of Mpox, its rapid spread in Eastern Democratic Republic of the Congo. By the way, may the Most High just heal and bless the Congo, especially in that eastern region, because this is where war is. And so, just reading this, I anticipate, I can just say with a bit of discernment that the Most High has graced me with, they're probably wanting to rape that area with more resources and put more people in modern day slavery. And we'll just put it there because this is saying Eastern Democratic Republic of the Congo, okay? On top of its outbreaks of other Mpox clades, why do they call them clades? Okay, I'm gonna look that up later. In DRC and other countries in Africa, It's clear that a coordinated international response is needed to stop these outbreaks and save lives. Okay. See, these communications, they just put you in the mindset of, okay, we as the world have to come together to save lives. That's how they're using their communication strategy. Y'all see how powerful words are? Now they're using them in manipulative ways, but they're telling you that
Yeah,
it is a matter
yes.
of life and death for you to eventually be vaccinated with the Mpox vaccine. On top of outbreaks of other Mpox clades in Congo and other countries, it's clear that the international response is needed. The organization is working with nations worldwide to coordinate accelerated vaccines across the continent and containment measures. They say an initial sum of $15 million is required for an effective response. Let me just say for my African brothers and sisters, Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Burundi, Rwanda, Ghana, Sierra Leone, Nigeria, Gabon, South Africa, Zambia, Namibia, do not take the injections. You ever heard of
Don't
the
even get
Tuskegee
tested.
Airmen experience?
Don't even get
Experiment?
tested. I know they were saying
Don't do
the PRC test,
PCR.
PCR. I don't know because I didn't take it. I didn't get tested, but um, they said they will start to give people COVID with those tests. They will just like just a little quick thing up your nose or in your mouth or something. Then 2 weeks later, you might be diagnosed with COVID. So you gotta be careful. For me, I would not be getting tested. I would not be getting no vaccine.
No,
Um, you know,
no.
the Most High's world, wow, word is so real. So keep that near you, and it's not going to come. This fear, this
Yeah,
whatever they trying to push is not going to come near your dwelling.
yeah,
Like really.
for sure. Take your turmeric and honey, put a little black pepper, you'll be all right. You will be all right. So they say the funding has enabled stronger surveillance, risk communication, and community engagement. So let's just pause right there. I didn't get halfway through the sentence, but the funding has enabled stronger surveillance, risk communication, and community engagement. This tells me that you have a plot that you want to control these
Hmm.
regions of the world. Why? Because they're too populated.
That's the whole goal. I know people hear the same thing with Mr. Gates, Bill Gates.
Mr. Gates.
That's his whole agenda.
Yeah.
It's to depopulate.
It's their shared family agenda. They're
Yeah.
like, we're already decreasing, we're gonna go out with a bang, but that bang is not going to touch the remnant. That bang is only going to affect those who are under the deep slumber. And it's so sad though that you have so many people around the world that fall into these deep slumbers with these nations, how they continue to poison you, get you away from what humanity is supposed to be like, put you under these hard tasks of capitalism, have you
Hmm.
paying crazy high amounts of rent, have you just stressed out on all accounts and can't even think for yourself and have a bit of critical thinking now. We will warn you guys, go ahead, and when you start to see your family, your neighbors saying, hey, are you vaccinated? Did you get the injection? You know that over there in Africa, they got that Mpox, that jungle pox. So go ahead and cut those people off. Cut them off, okay? Because this is not the time. It's literally life and death. And that's why we named the video This Disease is Going to Take Out and Desolate Humanity. The disease that's going to desolate humanity. It's not Mpox, it's stupidity. And there's no better, nicer way to say it. When you have humans that have brains that we've been graced with by the Most High, that know when we go outside, we have to have vitamin D or our risk of cancer is going to go up exceedingly. We know that they're feeding us GMO, messed up food in the West. We know all these things. And yet we're like, you know what? I think an injection is just going to be the solution. And, it's just too bad that we have humans that think like this when the Most High did not create us to be this foolish.
Don't be a fool, please. Please don't be a fool.
Yeah, there's no nice way to say it because at this point, we've already seen this.
Yeah, and
We already know
it's
the
crazy.
end.
Like I'm pretty sure the people that's watching this, um, you know the end. You saw it happen. So it's like these past 4 or 5 years, it's been a test for a lot of people, and this is pretty much the exam. Put it like that.
Mm.
If you fail this, you just you you might be like you're a fool if you feel this
Yeah,
and don't understand what's happening.
yeah.
If you allow that fear to get inside you and be like, oh my gosh, I can't uh do nothing, or just go with the flow what they're saying, you're a fool.
Man, yeah.
Please, please don't be a fool.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because they're gonna have people scared to go outside. Oh,
Yeah.
there might be Mpox flying through. And this is why it's like, y'all take one or two microbiology classes and you'll understand how microorganisms work
Hmm.
so that you won't be just like losing your mind. I remember during the whole 2019, 2020 thing that happened, people were like, oh my gosh, we have to wear these masks. And both of us, we wouldn't wear them. We just wouldn't wear them because we know as humans on a basic level, this is very foundational biology, 10th grade biology. I know I need to breathe a certain level of oxygen, not carbon dioxide. And so if I have a mask on my face, I'm
Hmm.
literally breathing more carbon dioxide than I would regularly if I'm just breathing regular air. Okay. And so
Hmm.
these are just this is basic biology, things that we should just remember as humans. This is just very foundational stuff. But we have one more article from Yahoo News, The Independent, by Vishwam Sankaram. This was Saturday. Pakistan says it is introducing new screening at the airports. Hold on. They're introducing new
Hmm.
screening already. Oh, wow. Because they found how many cases? Can somebody guess? How many cases did Pakistan need to find to introduce their new control and screening measures at the airport? Anybody know what number? Please leave that number in the chat. Somebody.
Yeah, somebody answer. We just gonna
Janelle, you
yeah.
got it. You got it, sis. One. That's a global emergency after the World Health Organization declared it. They said Pakistan one is one too many. Don't matter if you got a million. Don't
One
matter if you got a
look,
million people.
that's look, that's literally what these people are thinking. We got to really stop this before it breaks everywhere. Like really, one case is too much.
One case is
We
too
don't want
much.
to go back. We don't want to shut down the world for another 4 years. And we gonna keep testing people and finding this mpox.
Yo,
That's gonna be
my
another 4 years. It's like, dang, this pandemic was a president. Shoot.
and at this rate, it's just like, why do we live in a world like this? Like, why are we literally living a science fiction movie every year? Y'all, why? Just why? So they say the case reported in Pakistan involves a patient who recently returned from a Gulf country, Saudi Arabia. Pakistan's health ministry said it had yet to determine the strain. Mpox belongs to the smallpox family. Now, when I worked in nursing and I worked in nursing homes, we would have to care for patients who had been vaccinated for chickenpox but had the
Mm.
ability to have smallpox. Okay. Now they say Mpox belongs to the same family but causes milder symptoms. So they're saying it's not as serious as smallpox. And I've seen patients with smallpox, they recover in about 2 weeks. And so, but they're saying, but it's a global crisis, even though it's more mild than smallpox. So, you know, just things that make you just
Yeah.
wonder what kind of world we're in.
Just don't worry. I mean, I really can't tell you what to think or how to feel and stuff. Just be diligent and know what's really going on. Don't worry. Like really increase your faith. This is a time to increase faith. And faith is an action word.
Yep. And they say earlier this week, the World Health Organization warned of the very worrying, in quotations on the blog, emergence and spread of a new variant of Mpox associated with a more severe disease and higher mortality rates than the strain behind the global Mpox outbreak in 2022. And I don't know, but I don't remember that outbreak, the global outbreak that happened in 2022 of Mpox. In 2022, I remember like phase 4.0 of COVID, but I don't remember a global outbreak. Okay. And so, y'all, this is just what we have at this rate. I'm sure tomorrow you're going to be seeing new countries say, "Hey, we just found one case. Also, let's go ahead and put in some controlling mechanisms to control the population, control who goes here, control who goes there," because the underlying thing of all this is control.
Yeah, and poison.
And you can't
Control and
control
poison
people
here.
without fear.
Yeah, it's
Control
going.
and poison.
Yeah, that's what it is.
This is
So,
just strange.
question: Are you going to be controlled and poisoned? Are you going to be allowed? Are you going to allow yourself to be controlled and poisoned?
Yeah, because I mean, it's just strange times. But y'all, we see 77 people. Thank you so much for watching. We would just love it if like 30 of you could also hit the like button. So maybe we could have like 60 likes. We would deeply, truly appreciate it. You just like tap it real quick. It's just like that button right there with the thumbs up. You just tap it and then you're done. And then that's it. We
Yes.
really appreciate it.
Shalom to everyone in the chat. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Peace and blessings to you all. I hope you guys are realizing what's happening because, man,
It's like a
it's here.
book. It's so strange.
It's
so
here.
weird.
It really is.
And 4 hours ago, they say Europe and China brace for the new strain. And of course, they have like a black child. The way they always do the propaganda of like a poor black child is just like riddled with
Yeah.
the Mpox.
You know what this reminds me of? Like foot and hand disease in a way.
Yeah, that they have in like preschools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that's probably like where the pictures come from.
It's not that serious, honestly. It's just not. It's just not. And the symptoms are like fever, chills, and then you have the lesions with which are just pox, like when they had chicken pox back in the day. Smallpox, I'm telling you, I've treated patients with smallpox. You just lock them in the room, you take care of them, but the whole nursing home did not have smallpox. And so you just wonder how the whole world is going to get Mpox, but in these nursing homes,
What is it?
they can contain it to one room. So these are the things that just
So
I just wonder.
if somebody has chicken pox, they take a bath in what was it?
Oatmeal.
Oatmeal? Yeah. Like yeah.
Take some turmeric and honey, it'll be all right. Keep your immune system up, and even if you get it, you just take some turmeric and honey and drink some water, coconut water, lemon water. Like you're gonna be good. Everything's gonna be fine.
Fast for a couple of days. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure it'll just like fight itself off.
Exactly.
Especially if you got this this better than gold meddling melanin. If you got this better than gold, right?
Oh
I'm
God.
pretty sure it's gonna fight itself if you just step in the sun and
Yeah.
just be grounded to the most high's creation
Yep.
and just stay in your word. Just really stay in your word. Like they gonna keep trying to do stuff like this, and they gonna see who's gonna fall for it with all this technology and stuff. They really gonna see. But if the Most High's protection over you, it's not gonna be a thing.
Yeah.
Like really.
For sure.
So you gotta know that you are chosen. You are the the chosen seed to be in his hand,
Yeah.
under his wing, protected.
Yep. No need to stress and fear. There's no reason. They're going to push that as much as possible. You'll start hearing your neighbors saying it. You'll hear your people at work, the people down the road. And you know what we always say? It's just a great time to go ahead and book your airplane ticket and leave.
Yeah, it's time to smack. Never mind. Yeah,
Just go ahead and leave. That's what
just
we
leave.
did. Neighbors talking about, you could get reported if you don't take your COVID vaccine.
It's
if you don't
it's
have your
getting back to
mask
that.
on.
Think about that. It's probably gonna get back to that.
We all forgot about those times,
Yeah.
and it was 40 years ago.
People be like really calling people and looking out the window. Hey, they're right there. They did this for 2 days.
And the
Like 30
governor would
people
pay
over
him
there.
$1,000 in Ohio
Yeah,
to report
it's
people for
real
not
out
having a
there.
mask
Yeah,
on
yeah,
outside in the open air.
exactly. Yeah, it just kind of reminds me of that. I think it was a commercial or something where this white guy, um, I think it was like his kid got pushed or something, and then he went over and smacked the child. I'm not
Mm-mm.
telling people to do this, but
Mm-mm.
um, and then everybody came up to him, and he just started smacking everybody.
Well,
Yeah,
the struggle.
that's what I'm picturing. Like, dang, that's how you got to feel on the inside.
You know,
Like,
and
get away from me with this stupidness. Like,
I
this
think
craziness,
I think that it's
this
like a
foolishness.
double. Well, I guess was 2020 an election year also?
Yeah.
So it puts that double pressure. Wow. So is
Hmm.
this is the election year? That was the election year. They have all this pressure, right? Locked down with a new inaugurated president. That's probably what it will be. You have a new president, get your new lockdown. You know, that's
Hmm.
just the new branded guideline of Western society. Who knows why they do these things
Hmm.
other than to depopulate? But, it's some kind of controlling mechanism. And the question again goes back to you all. What will your position be in all of this?
Hmm.
Now that you've survived it, knowing that thousands of people have passed away, not from COVID itself, but from the actual
Poison. Yeah.
vaccines and injections, having actually these clots that were the size from like your wrist all the way up to here, these like massive clots that the mortologists or the mortar people, how do you say the word? The people that work in the moratorium, okay?
Mm.
They had never seen those before. Okay, they're doing like they don't call them autopsies when you're dealing with it when it's not an investigation. They call it something. Okay, y'all know what I'm talking about. But they were looking at the bodies, the cadavers, and seeing just these crazy amounts of blood clots, and they're like, and nobody knew in the hospital because it's just somebody that's sick. Maybe they had pneumonia and
Mm.
they say it's COVID, but it's actually pneumonia or the flu, but they're just putting COVID-19 on it and saying they passed away of that. But then when they actually look at the bodies and look at the blood, because they have to draw the blood out to embalm them. And so they're like, why are there all these blood clots? Like massive strings of clots that they had never heard about. By the way, it was
Mhm.
somebody in Ohio that actually did that. He was the owner of a funeral home and he wanted to actually put out the documentary. I do not remember his name. I don't even know how to go about finding that anymore. I really wish I would have like saved it somewhere.
Mm.
I don't even know how to go about finding it, but if you remember it, feel free to talk about it in the comments for those who maybe weren't aware or didn't know about it, but you feel something is off this time around. Maybe you weren't as knowledgeable back then about these things, but you started looking into stuff as the whole pandemic thing was happening, and you were like, okay, this isn't right. They're not really telling the whole truth. Something's off. Go back. You got time, take some time on your
Mhm.
lunch break, wake up early, go to bed late, and look at these things to understand what's really going on. It's not time to be ignorant.
Yeah, it's
The Bible says we're not ignorant of Satan's devices.
exactly like if you're not ignorant of his devices, um, it's really what you believe. Are you gonna believe what they say, or are you gonna not believe it? I'm pretty sure you should not believe what they telling you because that's the truth. If you believe it, that's the lie.
Yep.
They told so many lies, but people still believe it. So you are believing a lie.
Yeah. Don't believe a lie. Just don't. Documentary died suddenly. Thank you, Janelle. Yes, died suddenly.
Hmm.
Yes, indeed. Because seeing that documentary, y'all, it was like, it screwed you up for a few days. It
Yeah, that's
screwed you
like wow.
up.
They really just put this out here, but they put it
Ooh.
out there, and people still go get tested just to go to Walgreens and stuff,
Oh, yeah.
and go get vaccinated just
Yeah.
to
Booster shot.
yeah. That's where the world is. That's just you know
Yeah.
everybody not gonna make it. Everybody's not gonna
Mm.
understand. You have to realize that everybody's not gonna want to be righteous.
Yeah, yeah. I want to trust the Most High. We were just reading the Wisdom of Solomon earlier, and it really just comes down to those who are of Yah,
Hmm.
because you can't say you're of Yah, but you follow Satan's commands. That's not how that works out.
Yeah.
Like, it just can't work out like that. And just be aware that even the demons worship the Most High. And so, if you're
Hmm.
just going off worship alone, or just like a few Sabbaths, a few church assemblies alone, you better get some more discernment to see who really hears him. Because if
Ooh.
you're following the commands of Lucifer, then you are his child. The Most High says
Ooh.
those that love him follow his commands. And so, obviously, his command, the Most High is never going to lead you to get a poisoned injection when he knows the end from the beginning. He saw that happening. It wasn't like the Most High was like, oops, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
He saw the end from the beginning. And so, if you didn't get the message that something's off,
Hmm.
check yourself, check your spirit to understand, who am I following?
Exactly.
Who am I
You
professing
gotta
to
think about
follow?
Yeah, just how you brought that up. You gotta think about just your life in general. Put it like that. So if you're going through a tough time, right? And then it turns out to be abundance after that. That might give you a clear um, knowing that you are chosen and set apart. Because if you keep just repeating that tough time, keep repeating tough times, that
Mm,
might be a sign that
in a
you,
cycle.
yeah, that you might be in a whole different kingdom.
Mm. You know, but the great thing, the good news about that, even if you
Sorry.
are in a different kingdom, you're in a cycle, you're
You
in this
still, yeah,
captivity, you got the blood if you believe it,
yeah, you got the
if you
blood,
can perceive it.
you got his grace, his mercy. You just got to repent and turn away.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
really,
that's it. Yeah, that's beautiful. Praise God, because you
it's
know,
time for it. Repent, repent, repent.
turn back, follow Yah, go to the ancient path. Just ask yourself, did Abraham need all these injections before he went into the promise? Was he
Mm.
just like, so do we read in Genesis 12? He was like, you know what? I'm going to have to get like 25 injections before I leave to follow the Most High's command because, they got phase 4 of whatever would have been out at that time. And it's like, no, he just didn't. He just
Hmm.
didn't do it. It's just a reality. And so if you can fathom and conceive following the ancient path, you're going to be good to go. If you can't conceive it yet and you're listening to this and something's like stirring inside of you, that's a good sign that you should just cast it out. Cast the fear, cast the devil out, and get into a spirit of wisdom. And then all you're getting is understanding. And all you're getting and everything that you get, all the knowledge you receive, get an understanding. And what an understanding really is the position the way the Most High see it.
Mm.
So you can have an understanding of earthly things and of human things, but unless you're seeing it with the understanding of the Most High, it's not really deep enough understanding. So you need to see the world and the things in the world, the things of the world, the way that He sees it. And He says, if you're of my seed, you're in the world, but you're not of the world. You may
Yeah.
look like the world, but you are not of the world. You
Hmm.
live in the world, but you're not of the world because you speak contrary to it. And those who don't receive you, don't be afraid because they also don't receive me.
It's a, ooh, ooh,
Hallelujah. That's the word.
hallelujah. That's deep. Just read Joseph's story too. That man, that story is very it's a good story. Like just how you were saying, he wasn't of the world. He was in the world,
Mm-hmm.
obviously. He was
Mm-hmm.
in Egypt. He had power in that world,
Mm-hmm.
but he wasn't of the world.
Facts.
Like, and that's very, very like that's deep. That's very deep. If you got the understanding, if you got the discernment, if the Most High bless you with that,
Yeah.
you will
Yeah.
understand. So now it's time to talk in code in a way for the people that has an ear, they will hear and understand what they heard.
Yeah.
So for me, I like to kind of talk in code like that
Yeah.
for
I
the
mean,
people
Yahusha did.
that that really understand what we're talking about.
You
Instead of
gotta speak in
like
parables.
if they can't accept the truth, um, you might as well not even talk to them. If they don't understand what's going on, or they just too wardly, it's not worth trying to waste your energy and your time and just your peace, because
Yeah.
that's going to take away your peace. So the Most High keep continue to bless you with peace. We gonna need that in these
Yeah.
lives, in these times that we're in now. You really gonna need the peace that He set you apart for.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's it.
So like really, it's time, y'all. It's really time. It's time to put that whole armor on. It's time to step too. It's time to step.
Mm.
It's time for action. Just do it. There's nothing else besides to do it. And that's the
Yeah.
Most High's word, His commandments. Like really, just do it. It's too much that's going on right now. It's all this darkness that's rising, but be set apart, be separated, because set apartness involves separation. So be separated
Yeah.
and step so this light can shine. in a world full of darkness that we see everywhere. But don't forget about the light. We see all this darkness rising up. We see everything that's happening with the Olympics and this the witchcraft and all this and whatever people be saying and stuff. It's a lot of darkness, but there is light too. It is way more powerful than darkness.
Hmm. It is.
So just be aware of what's going on. Like
Yeah.
really, like for real.
Yep. Greater is he that's in you than he that is in the world. That's that. That's on that.
Period.
Yep. Any other questions? Any other comments? Bantu Lisa says, we must let our light shine in this darkened world in the name of our Messiah, Yahushua HaMashiach. Yes. Hallelujah. Yeah, we really do. And Africa is the best place to do it. It really is. Even when they say, there's a level 4 travel warning when we left to come to Tanzania, for us seeing that it's in like the red letters on the embassy website, we're like, oh, great, that's fine.
Yep.
I'm covered by the blood. So it can't really affect me. And it really wasn't affecting Tanzania at all. And so I just wonder about these things. Just wonder. So if you're one of those people, you're like, man, it's time to get out. I don't have time for this for a second phase 2.0 of the lockdowns. Go ahead and leave. There's nothing holding you back. Just hop on the plane. Other than fear in your mentality, that's about it. Because Africa is truly abundant. 60% lower cost of living. Even if you live in like a super nice luxury neighborhood, you get organic food. You have a peaceable life. You have people around you that know how to farm and how to act like humans and not be so hot-headed the way that Americans and people in the UK are. And so you just, we always advise it, always.
Yeah,
get on that plane.
Look out for a video that I'm gonna edit it soon after this because we talk about our cost of living here. In the house that we're in, fully furnished, versus if we had to be in Ohio, because that's where we're from. We're from Columbus, Ohio. If you guys didn't know, if we were in Ohio in this time, what would our lifestyle look like that we are living right now? The price of the rent and stuff, or what will our life look like with what we pay here?
Yeah, it's a good video.
Yeah.
Y'all, it's gonna be a good video.
Yeah.
Y'all
So it's like, man, it's like we was literally on here looking at houses and stuff. Like, dang, that's crazy. Like $5,000 for like a 5-bedroom and 3 full baths and yeah, fully furnished. Yeah.
No way. Absolutely.
Yeah,
not.
but yeah, check that video out after you when it's uploaded.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tonight or today. It's nighttime here, but today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. For sure.
But yeah, any comments, any questions? Let us know your thoughts. Let us know if you've been hearing about this Mpox over there. Are they just saying it to try to get people to stay out of Africa? Because you gotta think about this. It's a lot of countries too that is starting to do visa free for African countries.
Yeah, another one, even in the one we're in, you told me about
They they are allowing other countries that's in war right now to be visa free for certain countries. So how are they pushing Mpox and then allowing these other nation citizens to go to a country visa free?
Can I tell the answer?
No, they got. Go ahead, tell the answer. I'm sorry,
I was
bro.
just gonna say the answer is, it's that little slither because you know what, people, and these are Western nations that get into some African countries visa free, and it's just for the remnant of humanity that just has a bit of sense to say, I'm gonna go ahead and leave, and that's just what it is. It gets crazy if it's to the point that Eastern European countries realize, why are we saying this? Because we've spoken to people who know of these people, South African people, property managers who come and tell us, hey, certain people from Belgium, from Luxembourg, from Ukraine, from what that guy say? He said Czechoslovakia.
I think
they're coming to move.
Yeah.
Why would they do that? Because they know the West is in turmoil.
Even today, he was saying, man, there's a lot of people coming
Yes.
that that's from England and stuff.
Yes.
And I'm like,
Yeah,
mm,
everybody knows Africa is the last frontier. Africa is Eden. They've known this whole time. We are the only people on the face of the planet that don't know this.
mm-hmm.
That's why India's here. That's why the Lebanese are here. That's why China's here. Even though all these nations are depopulating except India and Africa, but let it be Western society, Black Americans, maybe some diaspora in the UK, they're like, oh, Africa, it's just horrible down there. But this is where the last of humanity is going to be stationed. So
Exactly.
it's
Yeah.
not horrible. It's the most blessed continent you could be on the face of the planet, actually. It just is. It's just reality.
Yeah. Just get this step and look. Get this faith. Faith is an action word. If you didn't know.
Cheryl said, I was in the west of Africa when the pandemic happened. There was only one case while the US was saturated. Facts. Facts. Man, that felt good to be in Tanzania during that time, though, looking back
Mm-hmm.
on those days when Magufuli was alive. Ah, nostalgia. Such nostalgia. Here in Rwanda, we were told there were cases in a border town, 2 cases in a border town close to the Congo. And they put Rwanda in red on the map for the 2 cases. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just be covered in that blood, guys. Really, in His blood,
yep,
in the Most High
Yahusha,
blood,
yep.
Yahushua Mashiach.
Yes, you guys are always welcome for the labor of love. Somebody says it's going to come to the states so they can have mail-in voting ballots. Could possibly be. Maybe they like the way it panned out in 2019, 2020, so they're like, hey, let's just do it again. Do the mail-in ballots.
Mm.
Somebody said, what good is it if you get stuck here? They are already shutting down some airlines. If you are running, do you worry about money? The Most High said, remember Lot's wife.
I say don't worry too much. Like it's just a test. Like he tested the Most High tested a lot of people in 2020, 2021,
The
2022,
whole earth.
2023, 2024, and it's happening again. It's a whole different phase and a whole different
Mm,
level of are you gonna worry about stuff like that, or are you gonna trust me
yeah. Are you going to
or
proceed
trust
in
him?
power? And remember, whatever decision you make that's not based in faith, according to the book of Hebrews and the book
Mm-hmm.
of Romans, is sin, is transgression. He says that if you make a decision, but it's not in faith, so you have a conscience that's convicting you, but you make the decision based out of fear or whatever propaganda, it's a transgression to the Most High. So whatever decision you make it be in faith. And if you feel confused, cut everybody off around you. We're not playing when we say these things. Cut. If you're confused, you have too many people in your circle. You have too much noise,
Mm-hmm.
too much television, too much people, too many congregations, too much spirit, too many spirits. Just sit, meditate in the word in Psalms 119, in the book of Deuteronomy, the entire book of Deuteronomy. And just from reading Deuteronomy alone and just meditating on that, you would get so much insight
Mm-hmm.
and so much understanding. And he just says, ask of me, and I'll send you dreams, visions, I'll send you wisdom, understanding. But because you do not ask, you do not have. And so all you have to do is just ask. It's a great thing. Just ask the Most High. And he just answers you. That's what his word says. It's not too difficult.
Exactly. Like really. Mm-hmm.
Welcome, covered girl. Welcome back to Journey Behind the Scenes. It's so great doing members only, having these 25 plus videos up, showing where we are in Africa, what our life is like, because we want to use discretion.
Mm-hmm.
When we moved to Tanzania, we were showing like the stores, our life, but it was just like it's a little bit too public, too out there. But we're in a season where we get to use discretion and show the 50, 49 people and members only what country we're in, how the visas go, what our house looks like, some of the more logistical things. And so if anyone is also interested in that, you can actually check that out in the link in the description as well.
Yes.
Are you hearing if the World Health Organization will force mandate the lollipops on the local people? Usually they can't force things,
The
typically.
last time in Tanzania, they was burning the vaccines. They get the vaccines and burn them.
That was funny. Africa is so funny.
Yeah. So just don't believe what they say, even if they say, "Oh, we shipped so many vaccines to this country, and everybody took all the vaccines that we um, gave them." And then here on the continent, we might hear like, "Dang, they took those vaccines and burnt them."
Yeah. Yeah, and you'll ask the local people, and they're like, "What vaccine? No."
Yeah.
They'll point you to tangawizi, right? What's that in Swahili? Ginger. Take
Yeah.
some ginger tea, put some lemon in it. They'll be like tangawizi.
Hmm.
They'll be like, "We're gonna take some herbal remedies. Don't give us that," because you're talking to a people that has their customs and traditions, and so it's a little bit more difficult to strip them of those customs and tradition. Hence,
It's really
why they
hard.
had
Yeah.
to enslave and kidnap our ancestors. We are a little bit more obedient to the West commands because we
Hmm.
don't have our customs. But when you grow up in your homeland, where you have your customs, where you have your village, you're like, we didn't take no injections in the village. We turned out just fine. We was having babies in the village. We were just fine. Why would
Hmm.
I go do all that? So that they'll try, but can it be forced? Absolutely not. And the way, y'all, you should just experience
Yeah.
Africa so that you know what we're talking
That's a good
about.
question. Can
African
can it
people
be
are
forced?
stubborn.
Like, can it be forced?
They
Will
are
you allow it to
stubborn.
be
We are
forced?
stubborn.
What is forced? It's really if you allow it,
Yeah, that would be the force
and
if you
that's a lot
allow it.
of that's a lot of that says a lot if you allow it.
Yeah, but that's where the propaganda comes in. That's why they have to push these narratives because they're hoping they can get just enough fear so that you'll come in covenant. Because when you agree with something like this, you're actually entering into a covenant with the spirit of fear and pestilence. This
Mm.
is why we tell you guys to reject these things. Like it's this serious, where you have to understand what's going on and have to understand what to accept and what to reject. Reject Mpox, reject all the stuff that they're spewing, all the propaganda and all this fear mongering, and profess that you are going to live and be diligent in the land that Yahuwah takes you into. For us, that land is Africa, and we have prospered every step along the way, according to Deuteronomy 28 1 through 14. Seriously, that whole section, that first part of the book, has been our lifestyle in
Hmm.
Africa
Yeah.
in every measure.
Hallelujah.
In the fruit of our body, our storehouse, everything. So that is the confession, that is the profession, that is everything. That's just what it is. And there is no other report. That is the only report.
It is what it is.
That is the only report. Kwasi said, "Did you see the Teo debate? Who do you think won?" Definitely Teo. I was watching it. The brothers, they're very knowledgeable, and so yeah, they're just yeah. I'll just say that. So
No
that's
more
it.
talking, guys. Action.
Yep, that's
Yep.
it. Any last questions before we get off? I know you're gonna edit that video. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna read. I bought some new books today, y'all. I really like this book, The 4 Hour Work Week. We had it in Tanzania, but I had too many books. This is such a great book, also. But I had too many books in Tanzania, and we were like, gosh, this is gonna be so heavy to drag along. So we gave some of them away and stuff like that. But I saw today at the store, and there was just one copy, so I had to grab it. I had to grab some more books. I'm just like I just love books, guys. As you can see by our bookshelves, they're just stacking up very nicely. And that one right there, we are definitely gonna read that. Just it's a good book to read. It's a good
Yeah.
movie to see.
Let us know if you can see what it says.
Yeah. Somebody read it. If you can see what this book right here says, can you read that and just drop it in the comments?
Yeah.
And this book over here is a really good one too. I mean, yeah, you point to it. That's Wake Up Jacob. That's Jacoba Amka, English and Swahili translation. It's like the best children's book,
Hmm.
literally the best. We wrote it and illustrated, so very great for the awakening of the children of Jacob. Back sunny days, leave the world behind, all uppercase. I had to grab it. It was the last one in the store. I was like, oh no, I'm grabbing this.
Yeah.
I gotta get this. But yeah, y'all, that's what we got planned for tonight. The Uncharted laptop is
Yes.
going to die.
But thanks guys for tuning in. Like everybody's saying, just leave the world behind. Oh yeah, really.
Facts.
Leave the world behind
Yep.
and step in his word, step in his power,
Yep.
step in his grace and mercy.
Yeah.
Step with the
Yeah.
whole armor on.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all. You got anything to say?
That's it.
That's it. Shalom, guys. Thanks for
Shalom.
tuning in. Make sure you comment and share this video.
Be blessed.
Be blessed.
Psalms 91.
Shalom.